at 6. This is a Non-Stop Local weather alert.
Our weather team calling a weather alert. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm John Webb. Take a look behind me. Flooding affecting the baseball fields in Oakdale. And check out Rock Creek in Rockford. In the last 15 minutes, the emergency management team in the city of Garfield says water is approaching homes there. The Oakdale School District will be running 2 hours late. The Rosalia School District will start on time, but is only running emergency bus routes. And the St. John Endicott School District will have buses run on paved roads. We do have team coverage for you tonight. Ainsley Anderson is live in Spokane, where a very popular produce company is flooded. But first, we want to go straight to Justin Spinnie over in the Weather Center with the very latest. Spinnie.
Yeah, let's get a live look at what's going on with that radar right now, because as many of us can see out our window, the rain is back and it is not stopping right now. Fairly widespread band once again over the top of us, still associated with that atmospheric river. This is round 2 out of 3 that we're going to have with that atmospheric river. We'll get a break overnight tonight with the shower system lasting another couple of hours, and then our next round will be with us as we head toward tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. So still quite a bit of moisture. The other thing to point out here, you see those little dots all over the screen, especially there into eastern Washington down toward the Palouse. Those are local storm reports from you, where we have reports of flooding. Thank you for sending those in. And where you see that exclamation point right there, that is State Route 27, where we do have reports of a debris flow in those areas. Sending the best to the people affected by that flooding right now, as that rain, again, it is not letting up at this point. Let's talk about where we do have flood warnings in place. It includes those areas we just mentioned on the Palouse, Oakdale, Garfield, down toward the Palouse River into Potlatch. We are specifically watching that river along with Paradise Creek. We're watching areas toward Lincoln County where we are under a flood warning. And our newest addition is now Latah Creek in the Spokane area. So let's talk about what those river levels look like right now. We're going to start down on the Palouse. This is Paradise Creek. We have now officially reached moderate flood stage. 10.47 feet is where we're at right now. We don't expect the river to crest, though, until either real late tonight or into tomorrow. And then it's going to be a very slow receding water level there at Paradise Creek. For Latah Creek, again, the newest addition where we now have a flood warning in place. We are just shy of reaching the action stage. The current forecast tonight has us heading into minor flood stage. That's why we now have that warning in effect, and then that water level will recede a little bit quicker than what we're going to see at Paradise Creek. But John, we are watching many parts of the region, and it's not just the rain, it's also the warmer temperatures helping the snow melt. We're also going to be getting some wind. We'll break it all down coming up next.
Very active situation. We'll know you keep an eye on it. Justin, thank you. The flooding not only affecting streets, but businesses and homes are also flooding tonight. Ainsley Anderson joining us live in Cheney tonight, where one road is shut down because of flooding. Ainsley?
Yeah, John, I'm here in Cheney, and I'm on Jensen Road, and it is shut down behind me, if you can see here, due to water covering the roadway. But as you said, it's not just the roads that are covered right now. Some homes and businesses have also been hit hard. Take a look at this video here. Check out the outside of Spokane Produce Warehouse on Geiger in Spokane. Water surrounding the trucks outside and inside. One employee says the high water affected a lot of the produce. The company spent the afternoon cleaning up the mess and contacting affected customers, which include a lot of restaurants around town. And looking at this flooding along State Route 231 outside Reardon, several homes and garages flooded in the town of Edwell. This is between U.S. Highway 2 and I-90. The roadway remains closed throughout the evening. And back here in Cheney, we are seeing fields and roadways covered in water. This includes roads like Jensen that I'm on here now and near the Cheney Rodeo. Roads remain closed in the area. Luckily, for now, the water has not made its way up into the main road. And the Spokane County Public Works Department also says that there are other roads like the Cheney Plaza Road that will remain closed throughout the evening. John, live in Cheney this evening, I'm Ainsley Anderson, Non-Stop Local.
Ainsley, thank you very much. To the southern half of the Palouse, high water prompting concerns along with street flooding. Jennifer Jones sending us these pictures from the River Walk in Pullman and South Grand and Fairmount Drive there in Pullman. Within the last 2 hours, North Grand by the Mobile gas station and Cougar Country Drive has reopened. Viewers also sending us pictures of flooding from around the inland Northwest. Long Road, Old Road, 195 Highway and Prairie View Road. You can see a van got trapped in the floodwaters there. No word on if anyone was hurt or rescued. And speaking of Old 195, you can see water covering the road north of Rosalia. And check out this road flooding in Colton from earlier this morning. You can see the high water overtaking some land in Tico. To help prevent flooding around your home and neighborhood, the National Weather Service recommends you clear the snow around storm drains, your foundations and window wells. Also avoid driving through flooded areas. And if you live by a river or stream, you're urged to check it out and monitor the conditions. And be sure to download the NonStop Local app. There you can keep track on all the flooding around the inland Northwest. You can also use our live interactive radar to see conditions in your community. It's available in the App Store for free. And we first told you about a power outage on the Palouse around 5 o'clock. Right now, over 2,000 Avista customers are without power in Potlatch, Viola, and Palouse. No word yet on what exactly caused this. We're told power should be restored by 8 o'clock tonight. First on NonStop Local KHQ, reaction coming in tonight after a woman was dragged out of the Republican town hall yesterday in Coeur d'Alene.
Away from me. Excuse me, Sheriff Norris. This gentleman is assaulting me. This man is assaulting me.
An attendee I spoke to, who wants to remain anonymous, says the woman disrupted the event. In the video, you can hear Sheriff Bob Norris tell the woman to get up or be arrested. You then see two men grab that woman and drag her out of the venue. We've reached out to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office as well as the Coeur d'Alene Police Department for information, but we still have not received anything. The Kootenai County Republican Central Committee saying on Facebook, quote, the event quickly spiraled into chaos as leftist and Democratic Party activists relentlessly disrupted the event by verbally attacking the legislators, end quote. The chairman of the Kootenai County Democrats releasing this video.
Unfortunately, the far right has been in power here for so long that they seem to have forgotten how to interact with people who don't kiss their ring.
Law enforcement has not confirmed who this woman is or if anyone was charged with the crime. And while all of that was happening, a man was allegedly making threats against Idaho State Representative Jordan Redmond of Coeur d'Alene. Ryan Gaddy was arrested early this morning. Gaddy's posted videos online of Redmond's insurance business and apparent threats. Gaddy claims that a bill sponsored by Redmond will limit insulin Medicaid coverage and lead to his death. He's being held tonight on a $250,000 bond. Well, new tonight at 6 o'clock, a new lawyer now joining the defense team for accused U of I murder suspect Bryan Kohberger. Newsweek reports Becca Barlow, an attorney from California specializing in cases involving forensic DNA, is joining the team. Barlow spoke during a hearing for Kohberger in August of 2023 at the courthouse in Moscow. The defense previously retained Barlow as a DNA consultant. And Kohberger's trial is set to begin in August in Boise. As you can imagine, for the families of the four victims, emotions are running high as they seek justice. And this past week, Judge Stephen Hippler making two rulings dealing with a blow to defense. NonStop Local Steffi Roche has more from the families.
We are, reconsidering, whether or not we'll go.
That's Stacy Chapin, the mother of University of Idaho murder victim Ethan Chapin. The family was adamant about not attending the trial of the man accused of killing her son and three others at a home in Moscow in November 2022. That is, until now.
That is a very difficult thing to think about, but, if we have to go, I don't know who else can represent Ethan other than his family.
Chapin sitting down with our reporting partner, Fox 13, in Seattle this past week.
I just feel this impending storm that's coming.
A storm this past month that's brought a flood of emotions.
The defense in the Bryan Kohberger case dealt two judicial blows in a new ruling issued today.
Last week, a judge ruled the DNA technique used to identify Bryan Kohberger as the alleged killer did not jeopardize the investigation, and claims prosecutors withheld evidence determined to be unfounded.
How could you not? Let's be honest. How could a judge not allow DNA? I mean, he basically said it in one of his hearings. He said, it's admissible every day and twice on Sundays.
It's a similar feeling for the family of Kaylee Gonsalves, another victim from that tragic night. They posted on Facebook, quote, "Praise the Lord. All the motions to suppress and Frank's motion have been denied. It's always a double-edged sword waiting. You want the right decisions to be made, but you also want them to be made quickly." As for Chapin, her focus is now moving forward.
It's always kind of right at the forefront, so you have to learn to live with that.
I'm Steffi Roche, NonStop Local.
Kohberger's trial is set to begin August 11th in Boise with jury selection beginning on July 30th. Crime is on the decline in Coeur d'Alene. Police releasing their crime stats year to year for the month of January. It found things like aggravated assaults, car thefts, rape, and theft dropped in some cases by 63%. However, there was an increase in home burglaries. The most calls for officers were in the northwest part of the city and Highway 95 and Appleway. The Gonzaga Bulldogs failed to St. Mary's on senior night, and some fans are now wondering how this affects the Zags postseason. Grady Glover joining us from the Northern Quest Sports studio with more on where the Zags stand tonight. Grady?
Yeah, John, it's the fourth time in the last 5 games that the Gales have beaten Gonzaga, looking all the way back to last year, but they're still solidly projected into the NCAA tournament next month. And with last night's loss, Gonzaga now 2-8 in games decided by 8 points or less this season. But the experts still have Gonzaga projected to be a top 10 seed in the Big Dance. Gonzaga does have a chance to face St. Mary's again in the WCC tournament. And when asked on how to beat the Gales if they play again, head coach Mark Few had a simple answer.
Make shots, don't turn the ball over, and battle on the glass. I mean, it's as simple as that. It's not nothing rocket science or anything like that. So.
Recovery to Santa Clara, a team that already beat Gonzaga this season and just made a program record 23 three-pointers against WSU, so the Zags defense will once again have their hands full. And these are 2 big games, the last 2 in the WCC regular season. They got big tournament implications. They likely need to win both to secure a bye to the semifinals down in Vegas. John?
We'll see what happens. All right, Grady, thank you. The NCAA tournament is not the only sign of spring. The Spokane Great Outdoors and Bike Expo wrapped up about 2 hours ago at the Spokane Convention Center in downtown. It included a number of experts to answer your questions, along with music and even a chance to roast marshmallows. For the kids, there was also a chance to bike indoors and watch skateboarding stunts. We do want to share the good with you on a very busy Sunday night. A local woman who suffered a seizure on I-90 gets the chance to meet one of the people who helped save her life. Jennifer Cumbie got the chance to meet with Anthony Thurman this weekend at Cochinito in downtown Spokane. Cumbie was driving west on I-90 when she had a seizure earlier this month. Thurman says he saw her car in the middle of the interstate and noticed something was wrong, so he ended up calling 911 for help. Both spent last night talking and reflecting on the positive outcome.
It's weird to follow up. I'm sure I've helped many of other people doing random stuff, pushing cars.
Every single day really does feel like a gift because it anything could happen at any time, and so I really just want to live life to the fullest.
Cumbie says she is feeling better and still undergoing testing. Glad she's doing okay.
With more rain and these warmer temperatures continuing, we are tracking all things flooding right now. We'll break it down and tell you what to expect not only over the next couple of days, but through the rest of the week after the break.
This is a NonStop Local weather alert.
We are about halfway through, I would say, the impacts when it comes to rainfall from this atmospheric river. And with that in mind, I want to show you an update on how much rain we've received over the last 24 hours. Just shy of ½ an inch in Spokane, but that rain has picked up again. And so I expect we'll be over ½ an inch before it's all said and done throughout the night tonight. Look how close we are to an inch of rain on the Palouse. Again, the Palouse is where we've seen some of the biggest flooding impacts today. 95 hundredths of an inch right now is where we are at the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport over just the last 24 hours. Compare that to the LC Valley, where we did get a little bit of rain here for the last couple of hours, but 11 hundredths of an inch is where we're sitting right now, significantly lower despite being just 45 minutes south of the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport. But let's talk about how things are going to continue as we look here over the next couple of days. With that Futurecast model, we are talking about this system lasting for another couple of hours. It's going to be looking like into eastern Washington and North Idaho. After that, we do get a little bit of a break from the rainfall overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. By 8 a.m. though, we're starting to see that next band making its arrival. It's right along a warm front, and it's a fairly well-organized band to at least start things out. That's going to push into eastern Washington and North Idaho by the time we head into the afternoon. That means more significant measurable rain for the Palouse, as well as up into Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and continuing into northeast Washington, North Idaho after that. Into Monday night, the showers become a little bit more scattered in nature. Still think we're going to see some decent rainfall totals for areas like Spokane, the Palouse, and into parts of North Idaho. But by Tuesday morning, the thing we're going to start to see is our snow level is actually going to drop to around 3,000 feet. So that means at our mountain passes and at our ski resorts, we're going to transition from rain to snow up at those high elevations into Tuesday. And then by Tuesday night, things will finally quiet down. So how much more rain are we going to add on to what we've already received? We could get another half inch or so into Spokane. Even a little bit more than that possible for the Palouse. That is going to continue to be the area that's going to get hit the hardest by rainfall. So we still have a little ways to go down there. As we look toward the LC Valley, another half inch is possible. Out toward Moses Lake, again, the rain shadow has been in full effect. We have gotten a little bit of rain, but we're only going to add on another 1,500 of an inch or so as we look here over the next couple of days. As we take a wider look at those flood alerts, we already talked about where we have flood warnings, but we still have aerial flood advisories from Spokane County up through the North Idaho Panhandle into Shoshone County, dipping all the way down into areas like the LC Valley right now. We have had a few reports come in from these areas of localized flooding issues and some sitting water on the roadways. Again, if you don't know how deep water is on the road, please do not drive into it and let some emergency officials know what's going on there. Take a look at our temperatures. The lows for tonight are still well above average. We're 37 tonight for our low in Spokane, 38 on the Palouse, and 40 degrees in the LC Valley. So the snow that's not melted yet, it will be. 30 degrees, we will be just a bit below freezing into Colville and right at freezing tonight in the Okanagan Valley. The high temperatures into tomorrow also well above average. Maybe not quite as warm as today, still going to be close though. Upper 40s into Spokane. Quite the contrast to what we've had most of February, sneaking into the 50s in the LC Valley tomorrow. Taking a full look here at the 7-day forecast. Tuesday also going to be a bit of a breezy day for us. After that, things quiet down. We'll get some peaks of the sunshine through the back half of the week with highs up into the 50s.
The new SWX app is here. Download at Google Play or the Apple Store. Live from the Northern Quest Sports Studio. This is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
The Gonzaga women's basketball team lost on their home floor on senior night yesterday, marking the first loss in 15 games for the Bulldogs. The Zags are now tied for first place with the Portland Pilots in the WCC, but they hold the tiebreaker over Portland. They already beat them twice this season. Head coach Lisa Fortier did say that this loss helped her team understand what they need to fix before the conference tournament.
We have to make adjustments. There are things that happen today that have been happening. We have to clean them up. And then there's some that are new. Some light is shed on some different things. And there will be some things that are similar versus Pacific, and there'll be some that are very different.
So the Bulldogs look to bounce back on the road Thursday against Pacific. The Washington State Cougar women won their senior night game against St. Mary's. Austin Getz was there with more on how this win sets the Cougs up for a run in the WCC tournament.
With their win today, the Washington State Cougars officially lock up the number 3 seed to the WCC tournament in a couple of weeks. With how they're playing right now, Wazoo's looking like a team that could make some noise in Vegas.
I feel like we've kind of found ourselves. I feel like we're the best when a lot of people step up, score. It's way easier to guard us when you know that only 2 or 3 people will score. But in this game, we have 4 people, I think, in double figures.
Yeah, I mean, probably didn't like the fact that we had to buy at the end of the season until now. And, have to manage that really well, obviously trying to get people back and healthy, which I think will happen by the tournament. And I think this really helps us, and we'll be really mindful to make sure that we're taking care of our big-minute players and, yet at the same time, getting better.
The Cougs now know what they have to do to make the big dance. 3 wins in 3 days in Sin City.
This was an example of, I think our kids were highly motivated for senior night in Terra. Now, but that shouldn't change much. If we don't want to win the next one, if we don't want to get to the chance to play in the semifinals or the finals, I mean, it is, kill or be killed. We got to be as hungry as that, and we've got to be as motivated as that. And yeah, I mean, I've been in one conference, one bid leagues before. There's a lot of pressure to that, but again, I like our chances. I like our team. I like the fact that I think we can still get better.
But before they head to the Orleans Arena in Vegas for the WCC tournament, they'll head to Pepperdine next week to close out the regular season. Reporting at Beasley Coliseum, Austin Getz, SWX.
Thank you, Austin. That game against Pepperdine Thursday, the last tune-up before the WCC tournament in 2 weeks.
We've talked about the rain, we've touched on the wind, the warmer temperatures. The other thing we're going to start to see as snow levels drop, we're going to get some mountain snow. A foot plus at Stevens here over the next couple of days for Snoqualmie. It's going to be a slow transition from that rain to possibly a little bit of snow, because that snow level is going to be right around 3,000 feet starting early tomorrow morning, going through about Tuesday morning, just dipping below Snoqualmie Pass levels. It looks like by the time we get into Tuesday morning. Now I want to bring back up those flood alerts once again, the flood warnings in specific. We're still watching those areas down toward the Palouse, Lincoln County, and then again the newest addition is Latah Creek here in the Spokane area. To all those affected by the flooding, we're certainly sending you the best. And if you do have pictures, videos, please send them our way, or just want to share your story about what you've seen out there. Again, we'd love to hear.
Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on it. We'll be back tonight for NonStop Local 11 o'clock with a lot more coverage. Stay safe.